industry, I'm on that Wolverine. Put me on vinyl records cause we dropping the classics. Niggas can't see me like Mr. Magoo with no glasses. Useless. Anybody thinking that they beating us is crazy as Steven looking through a pair of binoculars. What more can I? What more can I? What more can I say? What more can I? What more can I say? Doing it, killing it, crushing and ripping it. Put your hands in the air if you feeling it. Mic in my hand, but damn, but more can I? Loyalty, so I'm gonna reign forever. Bring your umbrella. I'm smoking these rappers like tobacco stuffed in a cigarella. You can't be the man, understand? Fly like Peter Pan. Baby, I'm a star. Hope you get the picture on Instagram. So yeah, what more can I say? You listening to a monster, no beat spot track. I've been patiently watching the throne, but I'm no Kanye. Cause good music's an understatement, I get better by the day. So how could you not notice I'm gifted like Christmas stocking? They calling me Mr. Rolly cause I got everyone watching. Yo, stay above you like a top floor podcast. Still kill the beat like I'm John Q. Hawkins. What more can I? What more can I? What more can I say? What more can I? What more can I say?
Y'all know my name, bitch. Y'all think I'm famous. Yo, this ridiculous, meticulous. Yeah, I'm ready, 10 deep, we dangerous. Yo, all about a dollar and a green, no scheme. All over your call it right, me so mean. When I grind so hard that my shoes so clean. Not to me, no harm, but I win yo team. Yo, give me the lighter show, give me a mic, you know, plenty of line to go. Any line, my bro ball so hard, but I still got best. Tombstone made for you, I can't sound. We'll bring it up and I break it down. Scan brought trees, so mighty now. Got turned ready to hit, now we going out. No clue where are we showing us. Some renegades, fucking up the game. All your lanes, all ain't ready for these flames. Getting deadly in these games. In my lane, bet you know my name, run it. Renegades, fucking up the game, starting we some renegades, fucking up the game. All your lanes, all ain't ready for these flames. Getting deadly in these games. In my lane, bet you know my name, run it. Renegades, fucking up the game, starting we some renegades. Yo, we some motherfucking renegades. Back when I was younger, told them, bitch, I'll make it back. Yeah, 30 million streams, now as humble as it gets. I satisfy the soul, every goal I ever set in mind. Me, they out here plotting, but they know what to expect. Now, bars, candy bars, sugar-coated calories. Eating up this garbage, y'all peoples must have some cavities. Never shed a tear as I'm tearing up these tragedies. Your drama squad, digging up some graves for the casual. I ain't never give a single fuck about another. Only my brothers, only my moms, you're only my reps, you're only my fans, you're only my bets, you're only my bitch, you're only my reps. You're one they know about, I'm about text. Life on check, what you know about that? Never holding up back when I wreck my track. Now we some renegades, fucking up the game. All your lanes, y'all ain't ready for these flames. Getting deadly in these games. In my lane, bet you know my name on it. Renegades, fucking up the game. Sucking with some renegades, fucking up the game. All your lanes, y'all ain't ready for these flames. Getting deadly in these games. In my lane, bet you know my name on it. Renegades, fucking up the game. Sucking with some renegades.
Se nos presenta un nuevo desafío. Lancémonos a por él. Saltemos más alto. Corramos más lejos, más rápido. Elevemos el listón. Sin regatear esfuerzos, energías o sacrificios. Juguemos en equipo como siempre hemos hecho. Sin importar género, edad, raza o condición. Todos unidos. Madrid, donde el deporte es capital.
En Imagine tenemos algo que confesar a la sociedad. No tenemos ni idea de lo que somos. No somos una red social, pero tenemos una gran comunidad. Tampoco somos una ONG, pero somos activos con el cuidado del medio ambiente. Tampoco somos un banco exactamente, al menos como tú te lo imaginas. Y es que en Imagine no sabemos lo que somos, pero hay una cosa que sí sabemos. Lo que hacemos. Imagine, somos lo que hacemos.
Just recording all on my own, no one listened when I was said, just left on red. Damn, I still remember that day. Check my latest song on my SoundCloud, saw a couple thousand new plays. I saw my homie and let him know. He said you came a long way, and we kept talking till he finally said that all the streams were fake. I said no way, but it was true. He paid 20 for 1,000 views.
Os presento al primer rider desde Eslovenia, 17 años, monta para Red Bull BMX Bikes, Declan. Vamos a ir con el 12avo desde Estados Unidos, monta para Monster Energy y Free Agent, Freestyle. Siguiente rider representando a Colombia, montando para Vans, Juan Sebastián Vaca Martínez. Siguiente rider desde Chile, monta para Subrosa y Ride SG, José Delano. Siguiente rider desde USA, campeón del mundo 2018, monta para Monster Energy Hyper BMX, Justin Dowell. Siguiente rider desde USA, monta para Game Protection y Free Agent, Jacob Fidel. Colombia otra vez representando para 1030 y Ready Shoes, Luis Rincón. Venezuela, plata Tokio 2020, Red Bull, Daniel Dhers. Inglaterra, montando para Red Bull, el rider, primer rider del mundo de triple flair, Kilian Riley. Desde Inglaterra, bronce, Tokio 2020, montando para Mafia Bikes, Declan. Croacia, montando para Red Bull, el segundo mejor clasificado de esta ronda, Maligno. Y el mejor para esta final, pero todavía hay que currárselo, desde Argentina, para Monster Energy y Kenneth BMX, José Torres Gil. Ok. Pues
Hello and welcome to Spain and the nation's capital for Madrid Urban Sports, a multidiscipline competition taking over 2 days with 350 athletes from 28 different countries, all battling it out against skateboard, BMX, scooter and breakdancing. But right now we are going to take it back to the Pro Park behind me for men's BMX Pro Finals. And joining me again is the ever charismatic Catfish. Thank you for joining me, mate.
Thanks for having me, Mark. I'm psyched on this one. This is going to be a great final.
I've just been watching the practice, and it looks like they've already turned it up to 11, mate. I don't even know how.
You're absolutely right, and I've been talking with a couple of the guys, and we're going to see some surprises. These guys have had some stuff in the tank. They wanted to save for the finals, so we're going to see some new tricks that we've never seen in Madrid before today in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, I've already seen some stuff that I've never seen in person. I've only seen on Instagram or on videos. So I'm like, whoa, trying to film everything, trying to take it all in because it was so breathtaking. Just literally with 5 minutes of practice going. I just couldn't believe it. They were just full charge. And, you know,
insane.
Carry on.
I was going to say, it's insane when you really think about the progression that we've seen in BMX over the last 5 years. You know, now that BMX is an Olympic sport, the pressure is on for a lot of these guys, and they go back into the laboratory and they really come up with some new stuff.
Yeah, mixing up those chemicals and turning each trick into another trick whilst doing one trick. You're getting loads of 2-for-1s, 3-for-1s. I've seen a couple of things. I'm not going to sort of break the ice too early, but I've seen a couple of things being thrown around that is just insane. And if they do go down, no one's landed them yet, but if they do go down, this place is going to explode, I can tell you. So you definitely don't want to tune out of this one. This is, I think I'm going to need to put a seatbelt on, full pads, helmet to just watch this.
Exactly, and have something to hold your jaw because it's definitely going to be on the ground here in a little bit.
For sure, for sure. And I mean, we've got a great lineup. We've got riders from literally all around the world. Colombia, Venezuela, Great Britain, Argentina, USA, Slovakia. Like, it's amazing.
It's an international affair, and like we've mentioned before, this is the big show. These guys, now that the Olympics is on the table, every point counts, every trick counts, and all of these runs, specifically here in the finals, are going to be very well thought out. These guys have been thinking about this all weekend. This is the big moment. They've all wanted to make it, and we're getting ready to rock and roll right now.
Yeah, 100%. And like you say, every point counts because you're accruing points going towards that Olympic position, so everything counts. Here we go. Rolling in, jack up.
Yaka is something else. Wow, starting off with a backflip double tail whip. We call that a helicopter in BMX. 360 double tail whip. This is one of Red Bull's new riders, and he is something else. Wow, 360 windshield wiper is what that trick is called. And what's interesting about Yaka is he's just grown into his body. The last couple of years, he's not that old. I want to say he's only 16 possibly, but he's grown into his body. He's gotten very tall over the last couple of years, and it's really helped his riding.
Yeah, it's amazing to see the youngsters getting so far in every competition now. We're seeing younger and younger riders making it to finals. It's amazing.
For sure. And as we mentioned yesterday, it's never easy being the first rider, so all the riders are obviously watching Yaka's run to see how he's scored.
Yeah, the judges always setting the scores to go higher or lower or however they see fit from that first run. But a solid first run there, no falls, just it looked like a bit chilling, kind of finding his feet, but yeah, solid run.
Yeah, again, with these guys, I think they want to get a solid first run down because the competition is so fierce. They know that one mistake can really, really hurt them. So I think most of them are going to try and get one solid run down to see where the rest of the pack or the rest of their heat goes, and then run number 2, they're going to send it.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday about 2 different riders, whether it's full send every go or get one in the bank and then build on it. And I think that was one in the bank there. And starting off with a 64.67.
The bar has officially been set as we get ready to drop our next rider. It's going to be the United States' Bryce Tryon. Bryce is really coming to his own over the last couple of years. Now, you see what he's doing right there. I can tell you right now, he was just mimicking doing a backflip, but you only do that when you do double backflips. So there's a very good chance we're going to see a double backflip out of him, probably right here.
If that's where we're going to start it, yep, there you go. No messing around. Straight out,
Again,
first trick.
What do you, I mean, 5 years ago, that's impossibility. 10 years ago, that's a video game trick. Now they're doing it first run. Let's see what Bryce has got. On fire early on.
Yeah, one of the standout guys in practice as well, really working on a line and looking like he was getting his timing right.
Yeah, he's really, really good at throwing the handlebars. Wow, flat spin casserole right there.
That was beautiful. Oh, look at the
big front flip transfer. Yes, Bryce.
It's so hard to see how big that gap actually is on camera. It's a long, long way to go.
So Bryce with 15 seconds. Staying on the bike is very important here. But also ending with something big is also kind of important.
Yeah, the judges really want to see that full run as well for consistency, as well as use of the park and difficulty tricks and how the tricks are executed as well. And I'm saying execution is going to get scored highly on that one.
For sure. That was a great run for Bryce Tryon. And as we talked about before, stamina really comes into play because you can come out swinging with a double backflip, But if you lose all of your energy by the end of the run and you're just doing turnaround tricks, again, that's why we like the judges like to see, full action throughout the entire 60 seconds. And Bryce trying doing that right there. That's actually 720. Initially I thought that was a cash roll, but that was just a flat spin 7. So great run for the American Bryce Tryon. Again, he's been working really hard. He's been making it to a lot of the international contests over the years. Again, with the problem that we had called COVID, everybody was off their competition schedule for 2 years, but we are back in action. 2022 is showing to be a very good year for BMX competition.
Yeah, and that's worth mentioning. There hasn't been that many competitions, so, people are rusty at competition riding.
Exactly.
So just over a 77 coming in there for Bryce, and we're moving on to Juan. From Colombia.
Oh, I love this young man. One of the finest riders from Colombia. Let's see what he's got. Wow, starting off with a truck driver to tail whip, 3-trick combo. Juan's got great style as well. 360 whip over the spine. Superman seat grab Indy. We call it an Indy because the rider crosses their legs in the air. Wow, that was awesome. Truck driver can tire grab. 4 tricks in one right there.
You can see he wants this. Like, you can feel the energy that he's riding with.
And I'll tell you one thing, Mark, just after going to the World Cup 2 weeks ago in Montpellier, the level of riding from South America is at an unprecedented high. These guys have seen guys like Daniel Dhers and Maligno lead the way, and now there's a whole crew of new riders from South America, from Chile, from Argentina, from Colombia that are absolutely incredible. We're going to get to see a lot of these riders this year. Whoa, that was awesome. That was a truck driver drop. That was almost like a street trick. Holy cow, Mark, this was an awesome run.
Yeah, full of tricks. Just like trick. There was no kind of messing around. It was just like, okay, I'm going to have to chuck down every single trick, every single wall, basically.
So many big tricks here. Check this one out. 360 tail whip is what we call that one, over the spine. Got some awesome tricks here. I love that one. 360 bar spin to can-can, or a truck driver to can-can. This was a great double tail whip transfer line. Again, a transfer is when the rider is going from one ramp to a completely different ramp. It might not look like it's that much, but the judges certainly take it into account.
¿Cuándo va tu cámara? ¿Me avisas? ¿Cuándo va esta cámara? Voy a
A little chat with the cameraman on the platform there.
Hola mamá, hola papá.
Hello, Mum and Dad.
Jose Sedano, easily one of the most charismatic riders from Chile. He's been flying the Chile flag on the BMX competition side for quite some time. And he's been on an absolute rampage. He just moved to California, lives at Woodward West, doing it for Shadow, Sabrosa, TSG. When I saw that he was in the finals, I was super, super stoked. He's a real good friend of mine. Let's see what he's got. Let's go, Jose.
Oh,
yeah,
lovely.
starting things off, 360 tail whip to tabletop. Great look at a turn down. Jose is a great, versatile rider. He can do everything. He's got the big tricks. He's also got some wild manual lines that we've seen. Oh, where are we going here? Speaking of wild manual lines, blasting out of the big wedge.
Yeah, one of the only guys doing the airs out of that, because it's tricky when it's not out of a transition. It's just a flat
Yeah, he's
bank
awesome
there.
at blasting air, and it's not easy to air out of a bank. 20 seconds on the clock.
Here we go with those manuals.
Oh, there's that manual. Oh. Again, a manual to our non-BMX friends is Mom and Dad used to call a manual a wheelie. A wheelie is when you just ride pedaling with the front wheel up. A manual is when you're just, your pedals are stationary and you're just balancing. Wow! Awesome way to end his run right there. So that was a solid performance for Jose, despite the fact that he didn't get that manual. He stayed on the bike, he didn't crash, and again, that's the most important thing, staying on the bicycle.
Yeah. But seems to compose himself and get back on there.
Yeah, and that's a risky move, again, because he's trying in the middle of the run. So if he doesn't pull it, it did what happened there where it slowed the pace of his run down. He was still able to do this awesome 180 bar spin up, full cab in. So to make first, to jump into first place, he'll need 77.68. I do not think that's going to happen. He's going to be at 61.33. It puts him in fourth place as we move right along to our next rider.
So taking it back to the USA, Justin Dowell.
Justin is an absolute machine, Mark. Former world champion. He is easily one of the top park riders in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, this was where I was talking about on the practice session earlier. Here we go.
Starting things off, backflip, double bar spin. No-handed 540. Justin's another rider. Wow, Justin's another rider that you'll see constant action from. He'll trick almost every opportunity he gets. Wow. Truck to down whip.
Literally a trick
Awesome.
on every single ramp so far in the whole place.
Triple truck transfer right there. 4 tricks in one. Justin is so good at throwing those bars, right? People want to know what makes a world champion in BMX. This is what makes a world champion, former world champion in action right now.
And this is the thing. Every single trick is being scored. If you chuck in 5 more tricks, that can put you in the lead.
For sure, for sure. 3 seconds left to see what he's going to end up with. A 360 tuck no-hander over the box. 540, solid run for Justin Dowell.
Full endurance run, that one.
Again, we talked about 60 seconds is a lot of time. Let's see some of these tricks. Backflip, double bar spin. Right into a tuck no-handed 540. Bar spin flare is what that trick's called. Lots of big tricks. This is probably going to be the highest scoring run we've seen so far, and it is 92.33. First rider to break into the 90s.
Yeah, we're already in the 90s. Wow.
Yeah,
and rightly
he's no
so.
stranger to making the podium. So we're going to see how this plays out. Another absolutely incredible American. This guy came off, he had a really bad injury in September where he had major surgery on his stomach. He had a bad crash, and to see him back riding at this level is a testament to how tough he is. This is Jacob Thiem from the United States. Wow, 360 double tail whip to bar spin. 4 tricks in one right there.
Seems like everyone's stepping it up already.
Absolutely.
And using that first part of the run to really explode and get the special bar up and start feeding off of it.
Exactly, and all these other riders are definitely feeling the energy. The crowd seems really into it as well. That always helps.
Yeah, I'm sure the next riders are sat up on the platform going, oh, that's where we're going this early, is it? Right, okay.
Wow, 720 bar spin. Jacob just made the move to Arizona to live with Daniel Sandoval and Jeremy Mallet, and it has been paying off. Beautiful downside flare whip. That was awesome. 5 seconds left. Straight flare whip right there. Oh, going down right in the last 3 seconds.
Not looking too happy about that, but yeah, I mean, there was still a lot of tricks went into 60 seconds right there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the judges think. Starting things off, 360 double whip to bar spin, 360 downside tail whip to late bar spin. Flare bar is what that one's called. Lots of big tricks. So this will be interesting to see where the judges put him. So JT dropping into 3rd position. Not bad for having a crash in his last run. So if we would end things now, he'd be on the podium.
Yeah, already way up there with a full. So if that's a completed run, he's going to be hovering around that first, second space, I think. So taking it back to the top of the heat.
El primer grupo, así que segunda ronda para Jaka Remek. Jaka, are you ready? Second round, 3, 2.
Second run, here we go, dropping in.
There you go, that's called a helicopter, starting things off strong. Yes, 360 double whip. I met Jaka years ago at the Pannonian Challenge in Croatia, and I became a fan there. He's been to the United States multiple times. His dad is his #1 fan. Triple tail whip. Okay, Yaka.
Yeah, I think I saw his dad cheering him on the sidelines earlier today. He was
Yeah,
so
his dad is one of the biggest fans of just BMX in general. So Yaka's also got some tricks up his sleeve, and if he's gonna throw them, we're probably gonna see him here in the next 20 seconds. Flare whip, oh!
So unfortunate on that second run, missing the flare whip. But I think he was thinking right there, you know what? I'm going to have to chuck in the big guns now if I want to finish anywhere near that top 5, 6.
Exactly. Not to mention that we've got, you know, your top 6 qualifiers after this heat. Solid performance for the young man. I think he might be the youngest rider in the finals, but his career is literally just beginning to blossom. We're going to see a lot more of this young man.
And like we keep saying, you know, that competition experience is so important. Just getting in there, dealing with the nerves that you get with a big crowd watching you, and being on the platform with some of the biggest names in BMX, it's so important to get that experience. Real nerve-wracking riding with your heroes.
Right? That's exactly it. So we get run #2 from the American Bryce Dry, and you see him doing that pump again.
I think we know what that means then, and where we're going with this first trick.
This is going to be a good run. If he can do what he wants to do, we're going to have some fun with this one. Starting off, beautiful double backflip. 360 double tail whip. Great look at a flare. Again, a flare is half of a flip, half of an air. 360 look back. 360 double truck driver, throwing the handlebars 2 times.
That looks so good, that 7.
Yeah. Bar spin front flip. Oh!
And you know
Just
what?
Going down.
It's exactly what you said. People are stepping it up on run #2. They're seeing what their standard run is and where it finishes on the board, knowing that other top 6 are coming up next. They're having to throw it in and switching it up. That was just a straight front flip before. Chucking in the bar spin as well, but just not paying off.
Yeah, exactly. What I love about Bryce, he always leaves everything on the contest floor. He always gives 100% every single time he rides. And you know, this is the final, so they've got to really step it up, like you said. Great look at a 360 double whip. Bryce is another guy that's got an incredible skate park at his home back in Lodi, California. Big shout out to Mom and Papa Tryon. So unfortunate for Bryce going down, but he's okay. Big hearts to all the fans out there as he gets misted down by a nice Spanish man.
Where's my Spanish man misting me? He's lucky, but still sitting in second place. So, you know, pretty safe position to be in.
Yeah, so he's going to have to sit and play the waiting game. And as we get ready for our next rider, here we go.
Definitely one of my favorites out there.
Yeah, he's awesome. Juan with an awesome triple truck driver to start things off. Again, a truck driver is when the rider does a 360 and spins the handlebars 360. Nice toboggan on that far quarter pipe. 360 can. Triple bar spin air. These are big points he's going to score with these triple bars. Slow rotating tail whip right there. That was an opposite tail whip. We call that one a suicide no-hander. He squeezes the seat with his knees, takes both of the hands off. 15 seconds. Truck driver in. There's that street-inspired riding. Nice flare, and oh, just going down. I know he's okay. All the riders from Colombia are tough as nails. You might want to check the floor to make sure the floor is okay.
Yeah, we need to get the team out there. Maybe drive a few more bits of ply into the floor there.
There's a great view of that triple truck driver. Again, a truck driver is when you throw the handlebars in the middle of a 360. Triple truck drivers are just insane. It's literally 4 tricks in one. Juan Sebastian is okay. Score coming in for him. Puts him in 4th place.
línea, su ronda pasa por ahí. Han puesto una parada de metro ahí en su coche. Lo tenemos.
As we get ready to drop.
In the first run, I'm really hoping this is a completed run.
Yeah, he wants that. He wants that manual. Again, he was the lone representative riding for Cuba for the, or excuse me, riding for Chile for the last couple of years, and now we've got a couple riders from Chile. But 4 years ago, he was the only guy competitively riding. So here we go. See if we can get this manual. One-footed X up over the box.
Getting stuck into the manual while he's still got a little bit more energy.
Let's go. Turn down hit. Oh my goodness gracious.
Still going to have 25 seconds if he wants to get stuck in. No, he's going to call it. I saw him do that in practice a couple of times. We saw it yesterday in qualifiers. I'm gutted. I think if he'd have pulled that in, we would have just seen some explosive riding just going on.
Oh, for sure, for sure. The run started off awesome. Oh my gosh, that was a beautiful turn down backflip, over-clicked turn down. Following it up with another 360 tabletop. He does some of the best tabletops, 360 tabletops in the business. There's the handsome Spanish man. Misting down the handsome Chilean man.
Still smiles, but that's going to be it. But holiday mode still. Moving back across to the USA with Justin Dowell.
I would love to see Justin pull the run that he wants to do. I've stayed with Justin in North Carolina before. He is one of the hardest working guys in BMX, and he is just incredible. Let's see if he can get this. Starting things off, there's that backflip double bar spin. Bar spin flare.
Looking so solid
Whoa,
already.
that was a 360 Twix right there. But it looks like he might have put his foot down.
Just as I was saying, he was looking so solid. The curse of the commentator there. Sorry, buddy.
Wow, let me see if we can see that replay. He pulled that Twix in his first run, but I think he might have just dragged his foot. Again, the Twix is a 360 bar spin tail whip. There's the flare whip, or excuse me, flare bar. Doesn't look like we're gonna get it. Again, Justin's a perfectionist. He's currently sitting in first place, so he knows that everybody's gonna be chasing him. But in that first run score with a 92.33, that's super high. So the rest of the riders are gonna have to play catch up.
And I mean, in the first heat, that's an affordable throwaway run, but knowing who's coming up in the next 6, 92 is possibly quite easy to beat. I don't know.
Very true, very true. JT in here, starting things off, 360 double tail whip to bar spin. Yes, 3-whip bar. Triple tail whip, yes JT, keep on the bike. Wow, truck driver to tail whip to late bar spin. That was 5 tricks in one. Double truck, still has so much time, 22 seconds. Wow. 720 bar. Oh my goodness gracious, stay on the bike, JT.
Good use of the course as well. Got a bit of everything. Whoa.
Oh, flare down whip. Oh, he needs to stay on the bike. Alley-oop flare whip 3. He's gonna call it right there. What a run for the American mark.
I said earlier about the timing. That was almost so perfectly timed. 2 seconds spare as he landed. And I mean, that's how important it is now. You've got to time your run perfectly, and that was a perfectly timed run.
Exactly, that's how these guys practice as well. JT throwing down the run that he wanted. Again, he had a very bad crash. They were speculating he might not ever be able to ride a bike again after his crash in September. And to see him riding at this level, especially at this level, now the question is, where are they going to place him? He needs a 92.34 or better to knock his American teammate, Justin Dowell, out of that #1 spot.
Currently in that 3rd place position, 71.33. Let's see where we're going. Not quite, 89.33. But it's pretty close.
Things now, he'd be on the podium, yep.
So that's our heat number 1. 2 runs, best run counts. We'll be calling heat number 2 to be getting warmed up. And we got some big names in heat number 2. And I keep saying about practice, I was so blown away, mate. Honestly, some of the stuff going down, I'm like, okay, we are in for a shocker. This one is going to go off. And like you keep saying, we're accruing points for the Olympics, and everything's counting. You're building up that score, and you're slowly crawling up the ladder towards that qualification.
Absolutely, and like we said, you know, all the riders are well aware of this. Sometimes they crash, and they might not even be able to have a chance at the podium, but they have to get back up and still try to accumulate those points, because that could make the difference towards the end of the year of if you're making it into the Olympics or not.
And we all know points means prizes.
Exactly. Yeah, there are some very heavy hitters in this group. One of the new faces, that's him right there, Luis Rincon from Colombia. He shocked the world 2 weeks ago at the Feast with one of the craziest tricks any of us have ever seen. He did a flip whip to foot jam to 360 to downside tail whip in. It was just in a mini ramp contest, but that was the first time the world got to see this man. So this is his first official park final as a professional BMX rider. So I'm really excited to see what he brings.
That is absolutely insane. I'm so excited for this run.
Okay, start things off with a double backflip. He is an incredibly consistent rider, so hopefully he can keep that going in this run.
Yeah, and these the top 6 have had the luxury of sitting and watching what's been scored well, what hasn't, and what kind of runs they're getting scores higher and higher and higher, so they know how to switch it on right now.
Exactly, and all of these guys, specifically these guys in the finals, they have so many tricks at their disposal that if they need to change their game plan up, they can do it. Wow! Oh, no. 20 seconds right there on the clock. Does he keep riding? He said he's going to go to the next one, I think. Wow, unfortunate.
Yeah, just under-rotating slightly on that alley-oop.
But starting off strong. Double backflip. Great landing on that double backflip. This, called a flare tail whip. It's a backflip with a twist. Perfect landing on that one.
We've seen some of our first 6 choosing some of these tricks to be their enders, and we're starting off with some of this stuff.
Exactly. That's a great point, Mark. Oh, just landed a little bit sideways on that, and that was enough for his momentum not to catch the wheels, and he had to go sideways. Thankfully, he's okay, and he's got another run as well.
And I mean, that looked gnarly, but I think he got away quite lightly from that. That could have gone a lot worse.
Agreed. I got to say something, Mark. I think if I was to say if there's a crowd favorite, it's this guy right here.
100%.
The way I heard the crowd respond to him, he's been coming to Madrid for a long time. Yeah, the crowd loves Daniel Dhers. Let's see if he can rise to the occasion. Let's go, D. Wow, 360 triple whip to start things off.
Perfect landing on that 7.
Over click X up 360. Again, one of the most decorated action sports athletes. If anybody knows what it takes to get onto a podium and get on top of that podium, it's this man. There you go. That's the cash roll, a trick that he invented. Oh my goodness, with 27 seconds left.
Fully unexpected fall there.
And that's the wild thing about BMX, Mark. I'm sure that it's the same with skateboarding, is that you can have the best riders in the world, but the people that end up on the podium are whoever has the best day.
Yeah. And I mean, Daniel was one of the people in warm-ups that I saw just locking down the run. You know, really working on that timing. And you can see from how that thing kicked off, really, really solid run. I think this score will still be pretty high. 45.33. considering he still had 25 seconds left on the clock.
Right. So here is one of the new faces in BMX. He's come on the scene right before COVID. Young man from Newcastle, England, Kieran Riley. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, absolute powerhouse Kieran is. Like a compact beast.
Riley, big front flip. 360 double tail whip to bar spin. Alley-oop double bar. And Kieran, another guy that can throw the tail whips and bar spins as he likes.
Wow, there you go.
Oh my goodness gracious. That was an alley-oop. Oh my gosh, that wasn't an alley-oop. That was insane. Double flare. It looked like an alley-oop from my perspective. Holy cow. If he stays on the bike, this might be the highest scoring run we've seen. Oh my goodness gracious. The camera angle screwed me up a little bit there. I thought that was an alley-oop double flare, which would be insane, but a regular double flare is just as insane. So now it's going to be a waiting game to see where the judges place Kieran Riley after that. He had some big tricks that
and
start
starting
things
it
off with that.
So heavy.
720 tail whip. And here's that double flare. One of the only guys out there that can do that trick. So what are the judges going to think? They're going to put him at the top.
Yeah,
say hello to your new leader, Kieran Riley.
And how important is it to do things that nobody else is doing on the course?
Well, that's one of the things, that part of the criteria that the judges look for. You know, they look for things like originality, creativity, doing lines on the course that nobody else has seen before. And here we go, your Olympic bronze medalist, Declan Brooks, another absolute powerhouse, starting off with a double backflip. Beautiful corked out 720.
Such a perfect landing on that as well.
Bar spin front flip. Declan is on it right now, Mark. This is shaping up to be a really good run.
Yeah, I think, you know, fellow Brit and dropping in after that, you're gonna be hyped. Dropping in after Kieran, you're just gonna be like, yes, let's go, let's get this done. Taking the long line there.
Yo, that's a new one for Declan, Superman front flip. Nobody in competitive BMX is doing Superman front flips in contest. Taking the hands off with 10 seconds. He needs to stay on the bike here, nice 540. Front flip over the spine. This is an awesome run, Mark.
Yeah, so solid. That was absolutely incredible. Declan, you are a savage.
Wow. Great first visit for Deck. That's exactly what he wanted to do. And again, his run had everything. Use course, big tricks. Let's look at some of it right here. Starting things off with that double backflip. And that's a corked out 720 right there. 2 revolutions. There's that front flip, Superman. So how are the judges going to reward Mr. Declan Brooks?
Well, Kieran's sitting up there with a 94.33, so 94.34 to take the lead. Is it going to be enough? No, coming in straight 90, which maybe I feel is a little bit low, but I'm no judge.
Yeah, like we said, they've got the hardest job out there. Your #2 qualifier representing Croatia. He's the #1 BMX park rider in Croatia. Here we go with Merin Rantish. 360 triple tail whip to start his run. Triple bar spin. He's going to be doing lots of whip bar combinations. Tuck no hander to bar spin. 360 double tail whip. Quadruple tail whip, Mark. That was 4.
Surely there's not enough time to get 4 round. Still coming down to 25 seconds, and we've seen about 4,000 tricks so far.
Exactly.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness, they are sending it with these 720 variations today, Mark.
And this is run one.
Unfortunate, right?
Yeah, I think after watching the first 6, seeing what scores were coming in, how the judges are feeling, whether they're being generous or a bit stingy, and I think these guys are like, you know what, nah, I gotta go. I gotta go all in. I'm throwing all of the chips in and betting on this run.
You're absolutely right. And you know, it's an energy, and sometimes it's hard to convey that on TV, but when you're at the actual event and you see the riders and you feel the crowd behind them, it just pumps the rider up to send it on that next run.
Yeah, you might drop in and be like, you know what, I'm just going to chill, and then you get taken over, and it's just like, right, I'm possessed, I'm going all in now.
So Rantish is going to sit down the lower end of that echelon as we get ready to drop your #1 qualifier, the #1 park rider from Argentina. This guy has been awesome for a very long time.
Yeah, I think if you're watching at home, you're going to want some protective glass on your TV screen because it might just about to be smashed.
Wow, massive 360 double whip. We call him Maligno. Big 720. That's got a helicopter, backflip double tail whip, nice tuck no-hander on the quarter pipe. Again, the judges look at every single trick. Great transfer line right there, going ramp to ramp.
It's coming down to that 30-second mark, halfway.
Wow, big double downside whip. 360 double downside. Catching those pedals, got 10 seconds to go.
That trick looks
This is a
so
great
crazy.
run, right? Nice little tire grab. What's he gonna end things with here? 3 downside. 540 flare at the buzzer. Oh, his feet just came off the pedals. I couldn't see if they hit the ground or not.
I'm not sure, but it definitely slipped off, and the judges are being pretty critical out there, so maybe
Exactly.
that might hurt the score, but still an absolute beast of a run.
Take a look at some of the magic here. 360 triple tail whip, excuse me, I called that a double tail whip. That's a double tail whip backflip. We call that a helicopter in BMX.
Yeah, he'd already done the first whip, just pretty much as soon as he'd taken off. So, very interested to see where the judges go with this one. Is it going to be enough to jump up into that first place? 94.34 needed. Judges taking their time. They might be doing a bit of head scratching over there.
Yeah, he got a lot in 60 seconds. Okay, coming in right there. 3rd place from Maligno as we go back to the top of this running order in heat #2 here in the men's park final, C1 final in beautiful Madrid, Spain.
And this really is it now. This is the final ride. Best of 2 runs count. So if you've fallen off on that first run, you really need to stay on right now.
Exactly, and they're gonna send it. They've got nothing to lose. Here we go, Luis Rincon. Start things off, nice double backflip. 2-trick combo right there, bar spin to tuck no-hander. Truck to downside whip.
Just hanging up a little bit there. Squirreling out, affecting the run. And when something does go slightly wrong, so hard to get back in. That was a heavy slam, but hopefully he's going to be all right. These guys are so tough.
Absolutely right. That was a 540 flare.
We got an amazing medical team here that look after everyone. They've been absolutely on it, so best wishes. But you can see there in the background, mate, look at the whole place is packed, and it is electric. Oh, the crowd is behind me right now, and I can almost feel it pounding through into the booth, and the hairs on the back of my neck are standing up. It's incredible atmosphere here.
That's awesome. Well, Spain has historically been one of the hotbeds for action sports, be it skateboarding or be it BMX. And the fans seem to really appreciate what we bring to the country and what their own riders bring to the world. So it looks like Luis is okay, thankfully. We hate it when we see them crash, but we love it when they get back up. We might be able to see what went wrong. As you mentioned, he kind of lost his flow just a little bit. And then he had that rough 540 flare crash. That's pretty much the worst way you could crash. But thankfully, he got back up. And again, helmets are very important. Kids, if you're watching this for the first time and you want to start riding BMX, wear your safety gear, please.
Wise words there. Listen carefully. Okay, rider number 2 of Heat 2 from Venezuela, Daniel Dhers. On-site MCs hyping up the crowd, gearing up for getting down.
There's that 360 triple tail whip to start things off. Alley-oop Dhers whip is what we call those. That's called a fuzzy 720 can-can. Another trick that he invented. Yeah, 720 no-hander right there. Perfect cash roll.
And we saw that
Another
slam
trick
on run number 1 from Daniel, and he looks like he's pretty determined to stay on this one.
Yeah, Daniel, again, one of the most focused guys in BMX. He's got his own skate park training facility down in North Carolina, USA. A lot of pros will come, and a lot of pros move there because of him, because of his work ethic. And, you know, whatever he's doing, it's clearly working.
Yeah, if you've got that training facility to be able to work out for this kind of competition, you're definitely going to get your timing right, and that was perfect on the buzzer landing there. Look at the crowd screaming for him.
Madrid loves Daniel Dhers. I know over the years, probably over the last 10 years, there have been numerous contests in Madrid, and Spain as a whole loves Daniel Dhers. And it's been awesome to literally watch his glow up from, you know, a virtual nobody from Caracas, Venezuela, to being one of the most decorated action sports athletes of all time, in addition to being an Olympic silver medalist.
Yeah, and from those replays, you can really see why. Giving the crowd some love there. Yeah, Daniel.
So he's certainly going to bump up. How high will he bump up? That's the question.
Yeah, currently in that 12th place position. Definitely going to want to improve. That goes without saying.
That might be enough to crack him into the top 3, because he had some really big tricks in there. Again, original tricks.
And tricks he invented. We are so grateful to see the inventor doing the tricks themselves. And you know what? When you are in that 12th place, you've got to throw it all in.
Daniel used to get a lot of grief because he invented the cash roll, but he would always tag his back wheel. And then there's a rider named Brett Benisewicz, aka Mad Dog, who did it correctly the first time. So now that Daniel's got his cash rolls back on lock, I think that Daniel can have the last laugh with anybody that makes fun of him for not being able to do his trick right. But his cash rolls today were absolutely perfect.
So jumping up to 5th, 89.67 coming in for run number 2.
Kieran Riley firing out that insane double flare. He actually had a busy year. He brought the BMX world the triple flare. He pulled that a couple months ago. Let's see what he got this run. Oh my goodness, Kieran going for that 720 double tail whip. That's the trick that he was trying right there, Mark.
Yeah, that is literally insane. And when you're set up in first place with such a high score, you can afford to have that kind of throwaway run and try something pretty high risk. Because high risk gets high reward.
So there's 3 men chasing him right now. As it stands, Kieran on top of the podium, Justin Dow and Maligno in 3rd place. But we have 3 more riders to go, and things could change up. Yep, next rider, your Olympic bronze medalist.
Declan Brooks. 25 years old, starting on that roll-in.
Great execution right there. Dec is certainly capable of winning this thing. He just needs to stay on the bike and ride the way he knows how to do it. Whoa! Yes, Dec, stay on the bike. 35 seconds, tons of time.
Yeah, I think he's calling it. Bit of a deck check on one of the landings there. I've got to say, I'm disappointed because I wanted to see more. I love watching Declan ride. It's always a spectacle.
And again, as we mentioned yesterday, Mark, these guys have to, stay healthy. They have to be very careful because the next stop of the World Cup is in a few weeks in Brussels, Belgium, and they don't want to risk possibly getting hurt, possibly not being able to ride in that contest. So, Dec Brooks currently in 4th place. I think he's going to stay there with 2 more riders to go.
If you make a mistake and you know that you've put down a pretty heavy run in your first run and you're sat with that 90, you've made a mistake, is it worth throwing in any risk to get hurt, like you say, with the next competition so near? If you know you're not going to score higher, the clever person is going to say, yeah, I'm done with that.
Exactly. All right, Madrid, what do we get? Starting these off, perfect 360 triple tail whip. Triple bar spin air, he just did. Double truck to tuck no hander. Tuck no hander to bar spin. So many rapid fire tricks right here.
I have no idea how you're keeping up.
Quadruple tail whip right there. Look back, he needs to stay on his bike. This could be a really good run for him.
Still 30 seconds left on the clock, halfway through the run.
20 seconds, buddy.
Flip whip. Gonna need something here to end. Maybe a 5 flare. Oh, okay, how about a front flare? 5 seconds.
Yes.
Flare whip. Oh,
done.
Goodness gracious, Mark. And we talked about the riders that really put an exclamation at the end of their run. Why conditioning is so important. The only guy doing front flip flares pulled it in the last 15 seconds of his run. Check this out. 360 triple tail whip over the box jump. That's a 4-trick combo with that one. Double truck to tuck no hander. There's that front flip flare. Great landing on that one. That'll score high for him. This might crack him into the top 3, Mark.
Yeah, definitely improving on that run number 1. Look at those eyes locked on the scoreboard, waiting for it to drop in. First is way up there with that 94.34.
A lot of us are heading to Marin's home country of Croatia next weekend for the Pannonian Challenge, one of the biggest one of the biggest contests in that part of the world. Oh, now it's a waiting game.
I'm looking over at the judges, they're just to my left, and yeah, I think that run has thrown them.
And I like this. I like it when it takes time because that means the judges are analyzing every part of his run. Score coming in right there, 90.33. That puts him in 4th place.
Yeah, knocks Declan down into 5th place by 0.33 points there. It really can make the difference.
So this is where it gets real fun, Mark. Maligno currently in 3rd place. He's the last rider to go. If anybody is going to knock Kieran Riley off that podium or knock him down off the first spot, it's Maligno. Here we go. Massive 360 triple tail whip. Big 720. That was a downside tail whip. 360 double downside tail whip. Oh, great look at an extended no-handed 360. Again, the judges like to see those hands come as far off the handlebars as possible.
That was like 7 feet over that ram then. So
yeah, he
good.
goes so high. Alley-oop, 720 right there.
Zlatan, good driver, 20 segundos, Maligno, 20 segundos, fast plan. 360 down wheel.
3 downside.
Flare por aquí.
Straight flare. He's got 10 seconds. Looks like he's running out of steam.
Okay, Madrid.
And he will call it right there.
Seems strange that he called it there. I thought it was building up to be, you know, maybe that big banger at the end.
I agree with you as well, but again, you know, we never know what's going on in their heads. It could be the heat. It could be the fact that there's 2 big contests coming up next weekend. Starting off with that great 360 triple tail whip. 720 Maligno. An absolute treat to watch ride. A great inspiration to all the young BMX riders in Argentina.
Pretty sure that's not going to be enough to take it. So I'm going to head down Parkside and see if I can get an interview with our winner, and I'll be joining you back very soon, mate.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you.
You absolutely smashed it. What an absolute pleasure it was to see you on the course today. I could see the energy was up in practice earlier watching you warm up. I think you were bringing your game.
I've made a mistake before, like worrying about doing things in practice to give it away, and I didn't make that mistake this time. I wanted to get everything done, knew I was solid, and I had tricks that I wanted to link together in a run before. I've never been able to do that, and I basically went out there, I wanted to win it or come dead last, you know what I mean? I was putting everything on the line.
You knew that he was going to take the double to take it away, and I couldn't believe you just stomped it as well.
Yeah, so it worked well in practice, but under fatigue, it's a completely different trick, you know what I mean? And it was risky, I think, at the start of the run. I was thinking about that the whole way through, so once I stopped that, it was a big confidence boost. And in this comp with the level of riding, it was do the double flare or get a mediocre run, you know what I mean? I had to risk it, so I'm stoked it worked out.
Yeah, some of the heaviest names on the platform with you, and you know, the nerves are always going to be bringing it, and you just completely composed yourself, and you look so comfortable.
Yeah, I definitely felt the nerves dropping in, but I was, like I said, trying to compose myself on the top. I was confident. It was a competition where I knew I had the capability. If I did this run, I knew it was going to go well. So it was believing in myself and thinking I can do this run, and it's like an honor to be riding with all the people that I know. I mean, there's the biggest names in BMX, like, yeah, and to end up on the top spot is insane.
Mate, congratulations again. You smashed it. You're an utter beast. Thank you so much.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. What an event.
Back to you up in the booth, Catfish.
What a great event. What a great champion right there. Again, he's been working hard in the offseason, as we mentioned, the entire time. With 2 years of everybody being off from competitions because of COVID, a lot of riders have been working very, very hard in the in secret, and what we saw here today was some of those secrets unleashed. Kieran Riley unleashing the double flare in a competition, walking away with the win here in Madrid. A great view of the setup, a great view of the ramps. A big shout out to the ramp builders, everybody at Urban Madrid Series that has put this on, as we look at our podium as it stands right now. Kieran Riley, Justin Dow, and Jose Torres Gil. So UK, the United States, and Argentina represented here at this podium ceremony.
Yeah, Kieran was so stoked. Good to speak to him down there. You could see like the passion, and so hyped for him. And you know, it came down to pretty much that one trick, right?
For sure. And like he said, he was thinking about it the whole run. Once he got it out of the way, that was the confidence booster that he needed.
So there's that third place medal going on. Justin Dowell.
Well-deserved second place. Again, Justin, he's been putting in a lot of work in the off-season as well. I stayed with him in North Carolina for a minute. And all these guys, I mean, it goes without saying, these guys are the best in the world at their craft. And as I mentioned before yesterday, these guys have created their own blueprint. And it's such a beautiful thing to see that from an early age, these young men wanted to be professional BMX riders, and nobody did it for them. They figured it out themselves, and now they get to really bask in the hard work that they've done. With a selfie.
Yeah, 100%. And you can see Kieran, you know, like you were saying, a relative newcomer coming through in COVID, and obviously using that downtime to really lock in some tricks that no one else is doing, and that's why he's up there in that first place position.
For sure. And the best part about it is the season is just started, Mark. Like I said, we've got a big contest next weekend, and then the second stop of the World Cup in Brussels at the end of the month. So if this is indicative of the direction that we're going for 2022, I'm all about it. Let's bring it.
Yeah, 100%. Let's keep that hype going. I can't wait to see what the rest of the season brings. So exciting, and it's only going to get bigger and better the more that people go through the tour and building up those points towards the Olympics. It's going to be great to see.
Absolutely. A big thanks to everybody that supports BMX worldwide. A big thanks to the moms and dads that support their kids. They never get the thanks they deserve. If it wasn't for moms and dads, we wouldn't be here. So moms and dads watching this, thanks on behalf of all the BMX riders out there.
Yeah, thanks for standing in the cold and watching your kids. That's amazing. And thank you very much for joining me, mate. You've been an absolute star, keeping the vibes going and keeping us all up to date with exactly what is going on, because it is so hard to keep up.
There is a lot going on in BMX, but it's always my pleasure, Mark, and I'm sure we will cross paths somewhere very soon.
Yeah, 100%. And it leaves me to say thank you very much to each and every one of you that's watched at home and joined us here on the live stream. It's been a total pleasure bringing you the men's BMX Park finals. And I really hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back very soon with our Scooter Park final and Scooter Street finals later as well. Thank you very much for joining us. And also, if you want to see more BMX hype going on, check out the Simple Session live stream. They're going off over in Tallinn, and you definitely want to go and switch over to that channel. So give them a look, and we'll be back very shortly. Thank you very much.
Se nos presenta un nuevo desafío. Lancémonos a por él. Saltemos más alto. Corramos más lejos, más rápido. Elevemos el listón. Sin regatear esfuerzos, energías o sacrificios. Juguemos en equipo como siempre hemos hecho, sin importar género, edad, raza o condición. Todos unidos. Madrid, donde el deporte es capital.
En Imagine tenemos algo que confesar a la sociedad. No tenemos ni idea de lo que somos. No somos una red social, pero tenemos una gran comunidad. Tampoco somos una ONG, pero somos activos con el cuidado del medio ambiente. Tampoco somos un banco exactamente, al menos como tú te lo imaginas. Y es que en Imagine no sabemos lo que somos, pero hay una cosa que sí sabemos. Lo que hacemos. Imagine, somos lo que hacemos.
Can I say? What more can I say?
Let's go. Drama. Yeah. Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up.
Yo, it's some renegades fucking up the game. All the lanes, all ain't ready for these flames. Getting deadly in these games. You my lane, bet you know my name right. Renegades fucking up the game. Getting stuck.
Y'all know my name, bitch. Y'all think I'm famous. Y'all this ridiculous, meticulous. Yeah, I'm ready 10 deep, we dangerous. Yo, all about $1 and a green, no scheme. All over your collar, right, me so mean. When I grind so hard that my shoes so clean. Not a me, no harm, but when yo team, yo, give me the lighter show. Give me a mic, you know, plenty of line to go. Any line, my bro, ball so hard, but I still got